Hi friends, welcome back to math. This week, you and I are going to be starting a brand new unit with a brand new focus, and that's going to be measuring things. So today, we're going to practice estimating our lengths and estimating measurements. Now, before we can start, we have a couple vocab words that we need to talk about. One of them is the word estimate. Now, what it means to estimate is it means that you are making a good guess. So if I look at my marker, I could estimate how long it is, this way, how long, and I would say it's about 6 inches long. That's my good guess. If I wanted to guess how tall it was, I'd say it's about an inch, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so those are estimates of the length of my marker, and I said it would be about 6 inches long. That's my guess. Another word that we need to know is an inch. And an inch is it's called a standard unit of length. And it's part of a foot. So for this, to say that it's about 6 inches long means if you take 1 inch, it would fill up 6 times, or however many times this is, however big it is, okay? And then our foot is 12 inches, and it's also a standard unit of length. And so when you use a ruler is normally 1 foot long, and it's broken up into 12 inches, and you can use it to measure things. And that's what we're going to start practicing tomorrow. But today we're just going to start estimating, making those good guesses about how long we think things are. Let's go watch our visual learning video to learn more.
Let's learn about units used to measure length. This is 1 inch. The inch is a short unit. Inches make up longer units. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. About how long are 1 inch, 1 foot, and 1 yard? These are objects that are about 1 inch, 1 foot, and 1 yard. A paper clip is about 1 inch long. A book is about 1 foot tall. A baseball bat is about 1 yard long. You can use these objects to measure. The eraser is about 2 paper clips long. What does it mean that 1 eraser equals 2 paper clips?
It's probably about 2 inches.
It means that 2 paper clips end to end are about as long as 1 eraser. An eraser is about 2 paper clips, which is about 2 inches. The poster is about 2 books high, which is about 2 feet. The table is about 2 bats wide, which is about 2 yards. You have learned about 3 units of length: the inch, the foot, and the yard.
So now we're going to go practice. Let's grab our workbooks. Okay, we're starting on our workbook on page 694. So if you need to pause me to go get your workbook and turn to page 694 and grab your pencil, go ahead and pause me now. And we're going to do these couple guided practice problems together before we do another video and some more practice. So it says, write the name and length of an object whose length you know. Then use that object to help you estimate the length of the object shown. So first we're going to write the length that we do know, and then we're going to use that length that we know to make an estimate for the picture, for the object that they are showing us. So we know that a paper clip is 1 inch long, just about. So I'm going to say it's about 1 inch long. 1 inch. And they want us to estimate the length of our pencil. So how long do you think our pencil is? Well, if I looked at this, and I could even get out paper clips and I could measure it, but I am estimating. So if I think about a paper clip is about this tall, it's about 1 inch, I'm thinking, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so maybe 5 inches long. My pencil's kind of used, so yours might be longer than mine. So I'm going to say my pencil is about 5 inches long. If you have a different pencil, you can kind of estimate how long you think yours is. I know some people's are probably a little bit longer, some might be shorter because you've used it a bunch. But my pencil is about 5 inches long. Okay, let's go to number 2. My book, that's the object that we know is about 1 foot long. So if we have a normal size book, it's about 1 foot long. Now they want us to use our measurement of our book, which is about 1 foot long, to find out how big we think our desk is. Now you can do this with your own desk, but I'm looking at my desk and I'm estimating. So I'm kind of, I say eyeballing it, which means I'm just kind of looking, I'm not getting out my ruler and measuring the desk. Instead, I'm just thinking about it. So I'm thinking about 1 book here, 1 book here, 1 book here, and 1 book there. So I'd say my desk is about 4 feet long. You can measure your own desk, whatever kind of table you might be sitting at. If not, you might have to go find a table to measure. So my desk is about 4 feet long. Maybe yours is smaller, maybe yours is bigger, okay? So that is a couple examples of how we can estimate a length. Let's go watch our other video to see how else we can do it.
When measuring length, you can use different units.
Really? That sounds cool.
It sure does, Daniel. You can use units like an inch, a foot, and a yard. There are 12 inches in 1 foot.
Ooh, and there are 3 feet in a yard, right?
That's right. This marble right here, it's about 1 inch long.
What about this book?
Well, Daniel, it's about 1 foot. I can put about 12 marbles beside this book, and they'd be about the same length.
Cool. Well, thinking about it that way, I'm guessing this table is about 1 yard, huh?
Exactly. I think you've got the hang of this. When you measure, you can always find an object that is about each length first and get it very close to the real answer.
Is that why we kept using the word about?
Exactly. Using objects like the ones we just used, it's hard to always get it exactly. But they help us figure out how to measure bigger objects when we know the size of smaller ones.
That's so cool. Thanks for showing me how to do this.
No problem, Daniel.
Let's do some more practice. Let's turn that page. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for this chart here. So let's do number 3 together. We're going to say my paper clip, because we know that a paper clip is about 1 inch long. The reason I chose a paper clip for this one is because we're going to measure our hands. And so if I did a book, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because my hand is smaller than a book. But I can say a paper clip is about 1 inch long. So paper clip, 1 inch long. And I'm choosing that so that way I can use it to estimate how long my hand is. So let's see. If I look at my hand, I bet I could put about 6 or 7 paper clips from here all the way down to here. And that would tell me that my hand is about 7 paper clips long or 7 inches long. So I'm going to say my hand is about 7 inches long. That's my estimate. You can write your estimate for your hand. Your hand is probably quite a bit smaller than mine. So your hand is probably 5 or 6 inches long. So go ahead and measure your hand, estimate how long it is. Don't use a ruler, friends. If you have one, don't use it. We're estimating today, okay? When you're done, we're going to do number 4. Well, actually, you're going to do it. So number 4, let's think about an object that we know that we could use to measure our chair. Should we use a paper clip? That'd be a lot of paper clips. What about the book? Yeah, let's do the book. So my book is about how long? It's about 1 foot long, 1 foot. So I'm gonna say my book is about 1 foot long. And now I want you to take a minute and I want you to think about how long do you think your chair is? So from the top to the bottom, how long? And I want you to write that down right over here. Look at your chair. You might have to stand up and look at it. How long do you think it is? My chair is pretty tall, pretty long. So I think my chair is about 3 feet long. And because it's 3 feet, I'm going to say 1 yard. So remember, when anything is 3 feet long, it's also 1 yard, or I guess 3 feet high, or 1 yard high, which means I could put 3 rulers together on top of each other, and that would probably reach the top of my chair from the floor. Okay. And remember, guys, this is all just practicing. We're estimating today. Let's look at number 5. So number 5 says, would you estimate the distance from your classroom to the principal's office in inches, feet, or yards? And explain. So what do you guys think? We could even think about it from like one classroom to another classroom. We don't even have to think about all the way to the office. What do you think? Would it make any sense to do inches? An inch is like this big. That would be a lot of inches, and it would take so long to measure. What about a foot? About this much? That wouldn't be too bad. That'd still be a lot of feet, right? What about yards? Could we use 3 feet to make a yard? Could we measure it in yards? I bet that would be the easiest, wouldn't it? So let's write it out. So I'm going to say the principal's office is down the hall. And remember, we're not going to use a yardstick to measure the yards. So guess what? I know that one big step, one giant step is about 1 yard. So I can use big steps to show about 1 yard. And I'm going to say estimating with an inch or a foot would be too hard, because that would be so much work. It would take us forever. But we could take big steps all the way to the principal's office and count them, and that would be about 1 yard for each big step. So that would be pretty easy. We're going to turn the page and do one more problem together. Okay, let's read number 7, and then you're going to solve it. Joy and Kyle estimate the height of their classroom. Joy estimates the height to be 10 feet. Kyle estimates the height to be 10 yards. Who has the better estimate, and explain? So I want you guys to think. You can even look at your house that you're in right now. Your house has probably about the same height as our classroom does, at least in part of our classroom. Part of our classroom is a little bit taller. If you've been there, you know that some of it's a little bit taller. But let's think about the area of like when we first walk in the classroom door. So you can look at your roof, and you can kind of think about how tall it is. Now remember, 1 yard is 3 feet. So Kyle is saying that there's 10 yards tall in his classroom, and Joy is saying it's only 10 feet tall. So I want you guys to pick which one you think is right and say why. Pause, and then come back to me when you're all done, and we'll talk about it together. Did you pick? Okay. So I'm going to pick Joy. I think she has the better estimate because my ceiling, even at home, is about 10 feet tall. But Kyle is saying it's 10 yards tall. And since a yard is 3 feet, that would be 30 feet tall. And I know that my classroom, our classroom, or my apartment, and probably your house, probably is not 30 feet tall. That would be super tall. So I'm going to write it out. And Joy, she could also use her own height. You guys know that you're probably about 4 feet tall, maybe 3 to 4 feet tall. So you could say that you know your height too. So I could say I am about 5 feet tall. So it would make sense that my classroom is about 10 feet tall, not 10 yards tall. Okay, that's my little example. And then I'm going to say, so I think Joy has the better estimate. And you don't have to write that much, friends. I just want to explain what I was thinking, okay? Because I know that I'm about 5.5 feet tall, and so if it was 30 feet tall, you guys, that means you could stack almost like 6 Mrs. Browns on top of myself, and then we would just reach the top of the classroom, and that wouldn't make any sense, right? But 10 feet would only be about 2 of me, and that would make a lot more sense. Let's look at your homework. Okay, so here's your homework, friends. I want you to do numbers 6, 8, and 9 in the work on the same pages that we were just on, okay? So finish those first for some more practice estimating, which remember that means you're making a good guess. And then do your quick check, and then after that, do whatever your teacher has told you with MathFacts Pro and I, okay? Great job, you guys. I hope you're enjoying our new unit for math. I will see you back here tomorrow for a brand new lesson.